Hi, I wanted to walk you through a brief demo of BL.INK and show you some of my favorite features. So starting off here, this is our link listing. So you can see a number of links here. We've got different BL.INK ID. So every link has a unique BL.INK ID. We have our short URL, our status. There's active and pending links. So these are links that will not redirect yet because they've not been approved. We have the keyword, which is the part after the slash. So that's, in this case, we have our short domain demo.blink.app /, and in this case, it's 67A CDO. So you can see some of the different keywords here. And we also support the ability to track clicks and scans. So that means if somebody clicks on a link, it's a click. If somebody scans a QR code, it's a scan. And the sum of those is the engagements. So you can see those listed here. We have our owner, created date, etc. Now there's a number of different columns here. So I can click on columns and I can choose to turn some of these on and off. So I want to turn off clicks and scans. If I want to turn off the keyword, let's say I want to have the short URL, but I want to turn off the owner, and we'll go ahead and go to the keyword again. So we can turn on all kinds of different items here, so the owner, who created it, etc. So I can mix and match any of these. Every one of these columns, I can also click and drag one of these someplace else if I want to change the order of these, or if I want to sort them differently, so I can mix and match that any way I want to. And I can also create different views. So once I get the perfect view set up of the right sort order, the right column order, etc., I can save that as a view, and I can recall those views, and I can share those with other teammates. So it makes it very easy to create the perfect view of your links to get in and do reporting and such very quickly and easily. I can also filter on every aspect of this. So any one of these columns, I can do different filters. So I can mix and match this based on different owners or this date information. So I want to do created by a certain person, or if I want to do a create date, and I can do a rolling, so I can do is today, yesterday, last 30 days. So I can mix and match that to create, again, that perfect filter, also part of the view. Now, in terms of our links, we want to start at the very beginning. So part of the BL.INK platform that's super powerful is the ability to create an attribute that describes your link. So these are different metadata points that will describe the perfect link. Some organizations, these are the UTM parameters, so UTM source, campaign, medium, etc. But as you get more sophisticated and more complicated around the analytical side of things, really want to get in more depth, you might create any number of metadata points. So you can see some examples here like campaign ID, campaign source, product pricing, color, division, department. So any one of these different attributes, you can see I can manage this directly through BL.INK. So I can create these, I can choose a pick list, it could be a text field, currency, a date field, etc. And if I'm choosing a pick list, I can come in here and create my values. I can create any number of these. I can rearrange these from a sort order, so I can juggle that. I can add new ones, and so forth. So lots of different flexibility, again, to create the metadata or the attribute or the taxonomy around the perfect link and structure. So once we have our attributes created, then we go into templates, and we can create a link template that allows us to essentially streamline the link creation process. So it's very common in some organizations that a certain person might be creating the same type of link over and over and over again with certain values that are the same. So I can come in here and I can create, here's an example of what we call our common campaign. So it's got a certain long URL, certain description field, a certain way that the URL itself is structured, redirect types, owner, etc. You can see certain fields that are required, certain fields that are not required, but they have default values that are pre-selected, etc. So this is an example of a link template. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute. So we're going to cancel that. And let's jump over here into the link section. And so now that I've got my links, let's go and create a new link. So I'll click on new link, and I can start with a blank link where I can go and I can basically fill out everything myself manually, or I can go here to our templates. So here's our common campaign template that we just saw. So I'll click on common campaign, and you can see, just like the template showed, it's pre-filling the different information like the URL, the description, additional URL attributes, etc. All pre-filled exactly based on that template that I just saw. Now in this case, let's say that I want to change, instead of campaign source, I want to do email instead. So I can go ahead and do that, and I can click on create. And now my link is created. It'd be BL.INK ID, let's see, 961. So that's our most recent one. So I'll click on this. Here is my new link. It's just been created. I have a QR code. Took a screenshot of what that destination looks like. So I can do a quick preview of that. And I can see here all the different details. If I want to do a different QR code, I've got different templates I can pick and choose from. So I have different adjustments I can make, and those are all saved, and I can recall those in a moment. And then here's all the details that I just created. So all the different components, and then down below, these are the attributes that I used to create that link. So now here, if I were to click on this short link, I can see this is the full URL that it's going to go to. And notice that it's using these additional URL attributes to create the different components after the URL, after the string. So this CID could be like the UTM parameters, UTM source, medium, etc. In this case, I've got CID, email, etc. So now these are pulling these values directly out of these attributes. So you can see here where it says email. So I've got campaign source dash division. So email dash HIS. So here is the email, campaign source, and division is HIS. So I've got that perfect link, and I can easily jump in, I can post that, do QR code, etc. So now that my link is created, in some cases you might want to make a destination be dynamic based on different outcomes. So if I go in and choose to edit this link, I can go into my rules, and I can add different rules based on different types of structures. So let's say I'm going to go to google.com. If the day of the week is Monday. And I can also add a sub-rule. So a sub-rule requires the first rule to be matched as a yes. So the day of the week is Monday, and your device is a mobile device. Then it will route to Google. If not, it goes back to the default, which you had on the prior screen. I can also add additional rules. So let's say I want to go to Yahoo. And then we can use any number of these. So I can say if your country is, let's see, we'll choose Australia. And as a sub-rule, we'll say your operating system is iOS. So again, I can mix and match these. I can rearrange them. So I can change my sort order. And I can create, again, those perfect rules that help me have the ability to, I forgot to, it's not a trusted destination. It's another feature I'll get to in a moment. So this destination is not trusted. So what I'll do here, and I'll cover that here briefly, so google.com/test. So we'll make that the second destination. So you can see here the different values that we have and the components around that. So now I'll click on save, and now this link has been created, or has been saved successfully. Now going back in here, so I can see here's my link again. I've got my QR code. Again, this link is now dynamic, meaning that this short URL, when I click on this, it's going to first look at these rules. Is it the day of the week Monday and the device is mobile, or is it the country Australia, operating system is iOS, etc. If not, then it goes to the default of the long URL here, this example.com. So that's the routing that I have. Now that we've created a link, one of the first things that we want to also look at, sometimes when you're creating a link, you want to have multiple variations of that. So BL.INK handles variants of links incredibly easily. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll generate variants. And what I mean by variant is, let's say you're running a campaign and you have these, you're actually putting it through different sources. So I've added a value, it goes from 1 to 2, add another one, that's 3. So I can now choose display, I can choose social, and let's add one for paid. So now I could have 4 different variations of this link where my campaign source is going to be one of each of these. But let's say that I also want to add another one for a different division. So if I come in here and I add value, and I'll choose this other division here, and so you can see now my variance went from 4 to 8. So a lot of flexibility there. Now when I click on generate, here's all the different variations of that. So I can see the different divisions, I can see the different campaign sources. I click on generate, and now it's going to create all those different 8 variations in just a few clicks. So I can see all this very easily. I can also see the original link, the variant of 961. So again, that's the original link that these were based on, and I have my 8 unique links that I can now put into my campaign. So you can see the power of being able to create a single URL and then very easily create as many different URLs as you want, because we know that when you're creating these links, to be able to have the perfect link in every single campaign source, every single structure that you have, we want to be able to aggregate all that data together. And so BL.INK makes that very easy. Now, one of the things that we showed earlier was we got a message saying that Yahoo is not a trusted destination. So over here in trusted destination, BL.INK also has the option to create the ability to limit the destinations that you have to only those that are trusted sources. So if you run a highly regulated organization where you want to restrict the links that you can create to only those destinations that are approved, then you can do that very easily here. So in this case, you can see these are different destinations that I can actually create links to if I do. So I created on example.com, wasn't a problem, to Google, no problem. I tried to create one to Yahoo, and it's not on that list. Therefore, it gave us an error, and we can go through that process to approve it, etc. It's very easy to manage these, but again, not a requirement. This is an optional feature that BL.INK offers for our highly regulated customers that really want that extra control and structure. And now, in terms of analytics, so BL.INK also has analytics across all the different components here. So you can see here we have links with click information, scan information, and total engagement. So I can do that over time. Very similar to before, I can adjust my time frame. I can do it dynamically this month, last 30 days, today, yesterday, etc. Or I can do custom time frames. I can also come in here and change my filter criteria, so where if I want to add different components like, again, the keyword, the campaign source, ID, etc. So I can create that perfect filter. And I have different analytic points in terms of device information, tags and refers, and the geographic information, our heat map, again, showing where in the world we're getting traffic from and how that maps out. In addition to having aggregate analytics across all links, I also have individual analytics. So I can come into a single link and I can drill down to analytics just for that particular URL. So I can see very easily, I can either drill into the analytics for that one, or I can drill into the analytics across multiple links based again on those filters. So again, lots of flexibility here in terms of the filter criteria, looking at different time frames, etc. So there's a quick overview of BL.INK. There's so much more to it, but I know we've only got a limited time today. I want to make sure that we can get some key information to you. When you're ready, please reach out, and glad to walk through any more, walk through additional details, features, and functions, and answer any questions. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to talking to you soon.